Thanks, Rob. We are here live in the KSUT Studios for a KSUT session with the three guitarists and one ukulele player from International Guitar Night 26 performing tonight at the Community Concert Hall at Fort Lewis College. 7:30 show. Tickets are available at DURANGOconcerts.com and also the door. Welcome, all four of you, to the KSUT Studios.
Mahalo.
Hey, thank you for having us.
Hello. Great to
We
be here.
have four wonderful performers here today, and I'll introduce each of them prior to their song. But starting us out is a Vietnamese classical guitarist who began playing classical guitar at the age of 4, if you can imagine that. And that is Tu Le. And Tu Le is one of the world's preeminent acoustic guitarists in classical guitar, who's still loyal to her Vietnamese musical roots, but has embraced all types of music. Thank you so much for joining us here in the studio today.
Thank you for the invitation, and I am and all of us are really honored to be here. Very happy to be here.
So you are best known as a classical performance, and I know you have a nylon string guitar. What are you going to perform for us here this afternoon?
Yes, I play classical guitar, and as you see, my guitar is with nylon string, and normally it should be a full body and really a pure acoustic, but for the tour that we are doing now around US, I need it to be amplified, so I use a crossover guitar. Still classic, but not 100%. Yeah. I would play for you now a piece in modern classical style, and as you know, classical music is known for its high demand of technique and sophisticated character. So this piece is in the rhythm of tango, but it's not like the old style music of 200-300 years ago. It's a modern style, so this is Tango and Sky.
Tango and Sky by Tu Le. Tu, that was the song that I first was introduced to your music. There was that song and one that we play on KSUT. Thank you so much for performing that. Now, one more quick question for you. At the age of 7, you were admitted into the most prestigious music school in Vietnam, and you were the youngest person to ever be admitted.
Yes, I entered the Conservatory of Vietnam at the age of 7, and it was in Hanoi. So I was born and raised in Hanoi, so it was right in my city. Yeah.
Oh, a wonderful experience to do that. And you were a student at the conservatory for how long?
I studied there for 15 years. So the system at that time was like the old style system, like in Russia. So we had like 7 years of elementary and then also high school. And then the last 4 years was a university level. Yeah.
Well, Tu Le, thank you for that beautiful version of Tango and Sky.
Thank you.
Next, we will move to the Western Hemisphere, the Southern Hemisphere, head to Brazil, And we have joining us today Lucas
Imbiriba.
Imbiriba.
Yeah, close enough.
I had to make it too small, the font, to see
That's
it. But
good.
Lucas Imbiriba, who my first seeing some flamenco videos of yours, but then discovering your love for rock and roll, that you can reinterpret many of the classic songs into your own unique style.
Yeah, the thing is, I grew up in a very musical family, and my eldest brother, Miguel, he used to play heavy metal covers like Metallica, Iron Maiden, Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin, like classic rock stuff as well. So this was already in my system. I'm a classical guitarist, like my basic training is that. But once I had contact with other musical styles, and I saw that I could mix several styles into my playing, I decided to bring that thing that I grew up with, which is rock and roll and blues, rock, and heavy metal to my style as well. So I mix classical guitar, flamenco music, and also rock and roll music in my style of playing.
And I noticed in listening to all four of you, flamenco seems to influence all forms of music, and classical, it seems like they go hand in hand.
Yeah, I think when you think about acoustic guitar, mostly I believe that flamenco is something that is probably up there with classical guitar. So, and I think that the flashiest thing you can do on a guitar is basically playing, and on an acoustic is basically playing flamenco music with all the rasgados and, the idiomatic part of the flamenco music.
Well, Lucas, what song do you have for us here today?
Well, I have a version of mine of the famous Canción del Mariachi theme, which is the main theme of the movie Desperado with Antonio Banderas. And I'm gonna play, I'll try to shorten it. I didn't know we should shorten it, but I'll try to do this, so enjoy it.
words for what I just heard Lucas Imbiriba with the song from Desperado.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I just want all four of you to move here so that we can do this every Friday afternoon. I think that would be a beautiful thing. But you, in addition to learning at a young age in Brazil, you studied in Munich and in Madrid as well as a guitarist.
The thing is, I had the opportunity, when I was 15 years old, I won the national classical guitar competition in Brazil. And when I was 18, I had the opportunity to go with a scholarship to study in Barcelona. And so I did my undergrad in Barcelona, where I also learned some flamenco with the Canizares brothers, which, they played with Paco de Lucia for years. And later on, I moved to Munich, Germany, and I just did my master's there. But I was already ready to move from being a classical guitarist to mix with everything that I do these days.
Which just dumbfounds the average American. You grew up Portuguese, and then you go study in Spain, study in Germany, tour and in English. And how many languages do you know in addition to guitar styles?
Well, I'm getting old now, so I forgot a couple.
There you go.
But I speak probably 5 and understand 2 more, like Portuguese, Spanish, Catalan, which is the language in Barcelona, in Catalonia, and in English, Spanish, Portuguese, Catalan, and German. I understand also French and Italian.
This is why it's called International Guitar Night. You are getting music from all over the world, but with the shared language of music. And we are going to switch instruments next and go to the Hawaiian Islands for just some beautiful ukulele music. Taimane is here and on this tour, and she is the first ever ukulele player to be featured on International Guitar Night tours, which comes to the community concert hall annually. Brian Gore has put together a great tour, as he does every year. Welcome to Ignacio. And we were first introduced to you with what was probably a bizarre song, but for a ukulele player to perform, but that was Wicked Game, the great Chris Isaak tune.
Yeah, the beauty about this instrument is that it can play many different genres that most people don't know. And I grew up listening to the classics as well. My dad is from Arizona, so he introduced me to Led Zeppelin, The Doors, Pink Floyd, and of course, Chris Isaak.
And how did you discover the ukulele? I know it was at a very young age.
Yes, so I'm born and raised on the island of Oahu, Hawaii, and everyone kind of has an ukulele in their house, kind of like how people have guitars in their house. So in the islands, it just so happens to be the ukulele. So at the age of 5, I was given one, and I played in front of the mirror pretending to be a rock star, and I've been playing since.
Well, it's impressive, and also impressive that you won in 2019 a very distinguished award in Hawaii, and I will probably butcher it, but the Nahoku Hanohano Award?
Yes, it's kind of like the Hawaiian Grammys there. Yeah,
And you
which
were
is
the
pretty
Entertainer of the Year.
Cool. Yep, and since then I've won a couple more. I've been on NPR's Tiny Desk, which was really kind of cool. I travel and tour extensively and really love being able to share this instrument that has so much to offer internationally and nationally.
Well, what song will you be performing today?
Well, today I am going to be adding on to my love of classical and flamenco as well, so just a little taste of that.
Taimane with a medley of songs that transcend genre. That was pretty cool. One of the
Thank you.
teachers you had or people you studied under
Yes.
was the great Jake Shimabukuro.
Yes, yeah. Jake Shimabukuro was one of my teachers, as well as his younger brother. And I'm, probably a little biased, but I feel like the best ukulele teachers are in Hawaii. And so I've been very honored to have a bunch of different ones.
And Jake is a performer who has been in Southwest Colorado numerous times on the Telluride Bluegrass stage. Tammy, we should think about him for a party in the park one of these years. But thank you for bringing the islands to us, but also for incorporating so much music and soul into your performing. Well, we will go to Russia now, and a guitarist that I just can't stop watching on YouTube. Just the visual assault on some of your songs. You use every square inch of that guitar in your performance. And I'm speaking of Alexandr Misko. Welcome.
Hey, thanks so much for having me. I'm Alex, and such a pleasure to be here with you guys.
So first off, describe your guitar to those who are listeners or even the folks watching us on YouTube right now.
Well, this is my Frankenstein guitar that we built in Germany, and this guitar is, well, the only one in the world that can do a lot of crazy things, like my tuning systems, where I can change the tuning of each string at a time, like this. I have my drum system here built in. I have like tons of cables inside of the guitar, so it's basically an electric guitar. And the idea behind this guitar was that I don't like guitars, and I wanted to do something that still looks like a guitar, but allows me to make music that goes as far away from normal, like expected guitar sound as possible. Even though I might have like fingerstyle guitar background, which is like modern American guitar, starting from, let's say, Michael Hedges and Preston Reed, from like late 80s, but and I learned a lot from these people, but then I slowly drifted away to, well, my own thing, I guess. And one of the core ideas is that I don't want the guitar to sound like a guitar, which sounds bizarre, but that's what it is.
And for our listeners, all four musicians, very young, and have utilized technology in discovering music and even styles. I read somewhere that as a youngster, you moved from classical to the more modern fingerstyle technique based on some videos you'd seen online.
Yeah, that was my beginning. So I started as a classical guitar player, just having private lessons, but I was never a big fan of that, even though I learned a lot. So I knew how to learn music, how to sit correctly, how to practice correctly, but I was never truly inspired by that. And then this fingerstyle movement, this whole direction that started in the late 80s with the names of Michael Hedges, that's actually something that inspired me so much to create and to realize that, hey, this is something I want to do. But then I put a lot of other influences into that, even though I'm inspired by this. But this guitar stuff, I also have big love for all sorts of metal music, and of course, Western and West Coast and East Coast hip hop. This is like my favorite thing to this day.
Well, Alex, what do you have for us here today?
I'm gonna play a little bit of my new single from my upcoming album, which is called Umbrella Street. Sorry, do we have my sound? There's nothing here. Okay, there's no monitor, right? There's no monitor. There's no monitor. Just checking. No monitor, right? Okay. Yeah, sorry guys, just had to clarify. Let's go.
was incredible to see you perform. And you can find him on YouTube. His kind of breakthrough song, the guitar and pen finger tapping song, over 1 million views, like right out of the gate. So
That was 11 years ago, yeah. And
But-
that's a cool song.
it was enough for you to just a few years later get recognized as the Guitar Player of the Year by a really prestigious British magazine. So
Yeah, thank you so
congrats.
much. It's a pleasure.
Well, I know you all have to get on the road because you're performing tonight at the Community Concert Hall at Fort Lewis College. So if you'd like, we could have you do a song together, or we could send it back to our DJ for music, because I know you have a tight schedule.
Just checking up with our tour manager, Norm. Yes? Okay, we have to wrap it up.
You have to
So
wrap
thanks
it
so
up.
much
But
for
this
having
was a
us.
taste of what you're going to hear and see this evening at the Community Concert Hall at Fort Lewis College, 7:30 show, International Guitar Night 26. It cannot be missed. We hope to see all of you there this evening. Once again, thank you all for joining us today.
Thank you very much for
Mahalo.
having
Thank
us.
you.
Thank you.
And thank you, Chris Aaland. And thank